My name is Brittany Valentine, and this is my suicide prevention speech. This is my audience. That's Brittany, Marissa, Siani, Ty, and Courtney. And I have 4 flyers that I will hand out at the end of the speech. Okay, so here I go. It is true that all of our time here on this earth will end, and we are all going to die. However, I believe that we were not put on this earth to end our own life. We were all put on this earth to live before our life is taken from us. For 50 years, Don Ritchie was the guy with the most unusual hobby in Australia. While other men would spend their time outdoors, Ritchie sat at home, quietly looking out the window. Why, you ask? Well, Ritchie and his wife lived at the top of a Sydney suicide hotspot, so Ritchie would spend his time trying to save others when possible. Ritchie made it his mission to stop as many jumpers as he could. From 1964 to 2012, he watched over this cliff face, and if anyone looked upset in any way, he would go down there and simply ask, "Can I help you?" And anyway, amazingly, this little approach seemed to work. Unfortunately, Ritchie had died of old age, but however was credited with saving a minimum of 164 lives. He was known as Superman. Those 164 lives could have been 164 deaths, but he saved them. Those 164 lives was estimated a minimum number, and some people estimate the number to be much, much higher. Either way, Ritchie's combination of insane determination and calm patience saved hundreds of families from losing someone they loved. Imagine a world full of Ritchies who designate their time towards suicide victims. There would be an exceptional amount of saved lives, and the death rate would lower. According to the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention, suicide is the leading cause of death. The American Foundation for Suicide Prevention is also known as the AFSP, and they state that suicide most often occurs when stressors exceed the current coping capacity of someone suffering from a mental condition. This is important to you because we all need to be aware of how we can save lives. I have personally been affected from suicide, from my 13-year-old neighbor at the time taking his own life, to my friend's dad taking his own life. These were not accidents, but deaths that could have been saved if someone spoke up or listened. Founded in 1987, the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention started with groups of families that came together who were affected by suicide and had lost family members. These families teamed up with scientists to establish a private source of support of the survivors of suicide loss, suicide research, educational programs, and that suicide prevention efforts could be supported into the future. Because there's a chance that you can become affected, I encourage you to become involved in the fight against suicide. Based on the statistics, the rate of suicide in the United States is increasingly steady every year, which is very disturbing. These numbers should be decreasing. On an average, there is a number of 117 successful suicides a day. Also, for every suicide, 25 individuals at least attempt. That could have been 25 more deaths. Suicide is more common than you think. Females attempt suicide 3 times more often than males, but men are more successful in their suicide and are successful 3 times more often than women. There is no complete count of suicide attempts in the U.S. The CDC gathers data from hospitals on non-fatal injuries from self-harm. From the data, 500,000 people visited a hospital for injuries due to self-harm. This number suggests that approximately 12 people harm themselves for every reported death by suicide. Many suicide attempts, however, go unreported or untreated. This is why numbers could be higher. Surveys suggest that at least 1 million people in the U.S. each year engage in intentionally inflicted self-harm. As you can see, too many people are dying or trying to die, and there needs to be an end to those numbers. Please help me and AFSP lower these numbers so you are not affected from a suicide victim. There are many ways you can get involved in fighting this battle with the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention, such as walking to fight suicide and volunteering. It is also important to speak out about suicide and let people know that this is a problem within the United States. The U.S. population needs to be more educated about suicide, and you can help out starting in schools, whether you are a teacher, parent, or even a student. Suicide is the third leading cause of death for youth between the ages of 10 and 24 and results in approximately 4,600 lives lost each year. Teachers have unique opportunities to observe behavioral changes that others may not notice. Teachers are with children more than their own parents and have a real shot at saving a life. The American Foundation for Suicide Prevention has materials on their website for specific for students, parents, and teachers about preventing suicide within their school and family. Another way you can help out is getting involved in a walk to end suicide. Walks are AFSP's largest fundraiser. They produce millions for suicide prevention programs, unite those who have been affected by suicide, and create communities that are smart about mental health. You can also volunteer and work the walk, which brings me to my next point. There are many volunteer opportunities within AFSP. You can work one of the walks I just mentioned, or even be an advocate for preventing suicide by working in schools, training for clinics, funding for mental health programs. Advocates make suicide prevention a priority. And don't worry, they do train you. Another volunteer opportunity is the Survivor Outreach Program. In the aftermath of a suicide, trained AFSP suicide loss survivor volunteers meet in person, by phone, or video chat with the newly bereaved to provide support and awareness. If you want to help people and change people's lives, this would be a great opportunity for you. It is crucial for you to know how much of an impact you would be making if you got involved with the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. It will change your life and help save others. What is more rewarding than saving a life and making a positive difference in the community? Being involved is having a voice, and suicide needs a voice. The victims have been successful and their voices need to be heard. Whether you are a student, parent, or teacher, you have an opportunity to observe and get the materials you need from AFSP to save a life. Walking to fight suicide also raises awareness and is very important when trying to prevent suicide. They raise money for research and also promote education of suicide and how it is a real United States problem. AFSP also has numerous volunteer opportunities, and the best part about being a volunteer is that you can pick your schedule and still make a difference in someone's life. With walkers and donors, that could be you. AFSP has been able to set a goal to reduce the annual suicide rate by 20% by 2025. The future of ending suicide starts with you. We all get to be involved. We all need to get involved to end these avoidable deaths. Suicide is a very serious issue in the United States that needs to come to an end. There is no excuse for someone to take their own life. You and I can help end these tragedies by getting involved and making our voices heard. We need to let people know that they are loved and not alone. Help out by simply raising money in a walk to end suicide, or even go further and become an advocate. No matter what you plan on doing, you will be making more of a difference than not doing anything. We will need more people like Dawn Ritchie that designate their time to save our lives. So please join me in the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. I hope my speech has encouraged you to help me in the American Foundation for suicide prevention, make sure that everyone knows that we are we were not put on this earth to end our own life. I would like to thank the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention, the Mental Health of America, the CDC, the Parent Resource Program, and List First for all the wonderful resources y'all gave me. And here are my flyers, and that give more facts about suicide from the previous year, 2015. And I want to thank you for listening.